Hello and welcome to Movie Buffs, a show about Hollywood's biggest night, the Academy Awards. I'm your host, Shani B.
And I'm your other host, Cisco from Misfit Minded.
Each week, we check the gate and break down movies of all genres, from major franchises to indie darlings. We covered all of last year's Best Picture nominees, and now it's time to talk about the big show. But before we get into it, we've got a couple of highly anticipated new trailers that dropped this week
Yes.
that we have to talk about, and
Have to.
a new movie review for Project Hail Mary that you caught just right before we're having this conversation. So lots of ground to cover today, but I have to hear your thoughts. I am curious about it. It does look good, and I feel like people are saying it's good. So what is your verdict?
Well, how are you? We were talking before we started recording. How are you on like space movies in general, like the genre
I
of
do
space
like
movie?
them. I am a fan. Yeah, I do
Okay.
like them. I have to maybe be in the mood for them because sometimes I'm like, no, I'm good. But I do like them, actually. I feel like I put on Space Odyssey in the background a lot. Definitely watch Alien in the background a lot. So space movies are for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I ask because like, I don't know, I feel like I have found some people that like, yeah, you talk to them and they're like recently even, and they're like, once it gets to space, I'm out. And I'm like, really? Like, I'm like,
I wonder
that's,
why.
I don't know, but I don't, yeah, I'm the same as you. I feel like it's such a fruitful like breeding ground to like talk about ideas of humanity, like unexplored terrain, maybe like the end of the world, like kind of reminded me, it's kind of an interstellar situation happening in there where we have to solve this dilemma. Also reminded me a lot of The Martian, of this one guy
Let's
up in
go.
space. The book Project Hail Mary, also written by the guy who wrote The Martian. So
Oh, okay.
so I didn't know that until I grabbed a poster on the way out. It says it on the poster.
Let's go.
Um, Also directed by Lord and Miller,
Oh,
which if you are not familiar, they are the minds behind the 21 Jump Street franchise,
Lego
Lego
movie. Yep.
movie, across into the Spider-Verse movies. Like, I'm a huge fan of those guys. So
Yes.
like that was a huge selling point for me too. And then just Ryan Gosling in general,
Hands down.
he is like one of those guys like Leo where I'm probably gonna like the movie, like if Ryan
Yep.
Gosling's in it. So
Totally agree.
all those things together, I was like, I feel like I should like this movie, and I'm happy to report this is a great time at the movies. I really enjoyed myself. And I feel like it's so hard. You have to go into it not wanting to enjoy yourself, I feel like, because
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about this theater going experience, and like I've been hearing like just seeing early reports because it just came out, today,
Right.
officially, that it broke the record for this year. Scream 7 held the record for biggest opening night, and now Project Hail Mary. And that makes me feel like really good because I think we need more original stories. And
We do.
I'm just like, this must be what it was like in the 80s when they were getting all these original
Yes.
movies before people knew what IP meant.
Yes.
And I guess, yeah, my favorite thing about it was just like hearing, I'm sitting next to this older gentleman, he's laughing, and then a couple rows back behind me, there's this little kid who sounded like he was like 7 years old, and he was cracking up at some of the humor in it. And I
Let's
was like,
go.
you know what? Like, Lord and Miller really have such a solid like humor ground that they can, again, they can go from Lego movie to 21 Jump Street.
hmm
And this is PG-13, so like I think they did such a great job of like, and Ryan Gosling too. I think he did like a great job because like this movie hinges on his shoulders. Like we talked about Ad Astra being Brad Pitt in space. Like
Yep.
this is Ryan Gosling in space. Like sans
Amazing.
anybody supporting him for most of the movie.
Okay.
Like if
Okay.
not all the movie. And so again, I just really enjoyed myself. I think it's like one of those movies that I can see people, rewatching it and like having fun with it. And I like the fact that it's not so serious. Like that's one other thing I feel like where people don't like space movies necessarily. They think it's
Right.
like it has to deal with all these bigger issues. And
Yeah.
like it was nice to just have like him cracking jokes the entire movie to like it's very similar to The Martian in that way, where like
Okay.
Matt Damon is definitely like famously Golden Globe winner for best comedy, The
Right.
Martian.
Right. Yeah.
Like Ryan Gosling is cracking jokes the entire time for like the full 2.5 hours, and like I think it really helped pass the time because it is a long movie. I will say that. Like
Okay.
maybe it could have been a little bit short. I know you famously like you're like if it
Please.
goes past 2 hours, this is a 2.5 hour movie. I definitely was feeling it in like the last 30 for sure. Like, all right, guys, let's wrap it up here.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, again, I don't know what people could want from this. Like, it brought drama, it brought comedy, some like really cool sci-fi elements that I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that like really done before.
All right.
Like that's interesting. So I think if any of those things like sound interesting to you, I would go out and see it. And so, again, support original. You guys want more original movies in theaters? Like this is a movie that brings that.
I mean, and it's a good thing that it's doing well so far, right? Because I
Hmm.
think like that is the reality is that like, they're telling us that audiences want IP, and it's not that they don't want IP, but they do want original. Like they'll always want original. They'll always want some cool new idea to get excited about. And you're going to run out of IP, so you have to invent more IP, right? And you can't do that unless you bring original properties forward. So it's sort of like, there's something to like everybody wants to just go have a good time at the movies, whether it's IP or not. You might as well bring original stuff into the space because people are down for it.
Yeah, and I think like in this instance, like space is like its own IP. Like Star Wars,
Totally.
Star Wars made space like a genre, like an IP.
Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling too as a movie star. Like I was thinking a lot about that, like all the other space movies I'm into, and I'm like, you really need a really talented like movie
Yeah,
star to
lead person.
carry. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I was thinking of Gravity, like with George Clooney in there.
Yes,
Like
and
you need
Sandy
someone
Big.
that
Mm-hmm.
you need someone that you could like be trapped in like a closet with for 90 minutes and it could be a good movie. And like
Yes.
Ryan Gosling is, one of those guys. Like he was just I think another one of my favorite things about the movie that I'm makes me kind of excited to go to rewatch it, I guess, is like the filmmaking was really different too, where
Cool.
it's because they're playing with like zero gravity like for the entire time. There's a lot of Dutch angles and stuff on the side, stuff shot upside down, stuff moving in like around, like the camera's like constantly flowing like in a circle, like where
Fun.
it could be disorienting, but like again, Ryan Gosling, he's like walking in circles and like floating the entire time, and
Keeping it
like
grounded.
it just made it like again it made it feel so like different and like out of this world, like otherworldly. And I
Nice.
don't want to spoil too much. It's hard to talk about, but there's a side character, I'll say, or like that people will know if they've seen the movie, and that is another reason to go see the movie, because I thought that that area of the movie was just so funny, so hilarious, and like again reminded me of some things like E.T. or other movies of that sort. So it's
Yeah.
just it's fun. It's really fun.
Great.
So
Good, good.
I
I want to
recommend. I
hear,
recommend.
yeah, I want to hear good that there are good movies at the movie theater. That is what I want to hear.
I needed
So
a
let's
bounce
go.
back from Scream 7. That one really set the year off on like a really bad note, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And let's hope that, it broke Scream 7's record as like most people going to see it. Let's hope it doesn't break its other record as dropping so significantly in the
The
second
second
weekend
week.
because
Yeah.
word of mouth like really gave away what the problem was. So yeah, awesome, awesome. Okay, I will see what I can do to try to get there, but I know that no matter what, I'm going to check that movie out.
Yeah, it's worth it. You want to get into some of these trailers now?
Let's do
I
it.
did like I'm running like by the seat of my pants today. I missed all the trailers before the movie. Like we literally walked in right before it started. I was like, okay, oof, at least
We
we
made
made
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did catch these online last night, so I'm ready to talk
Yes.
about them. What about you?
Same, same. Yes, yes. I
Okay,
peeped them and then I watched them again today just to be like,
good.
what did I miss? What did I look, blink for, things like that. And yeah, I guess which one should we start with?
Let's do Spider-Man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess it is a good one to start because I guess I like need to rewatch the last Spider-Man because I sort of forget where we are. Like I am a little saturated on all the ways everything has changed in terms of like different timelines, and I know that it like got really wild in the last one. So I was a little confused, but I'm sort of like, okay,
Hmm.
what does this mean? I guess the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I'm really curious about this one because I this one feels like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 when Tobey Maguire
Hmm.
like loses his mojo.
I was
Um
thinking the same thing. A movie we have covered. I was like, this is perfect.
yes,
Like, we have to talk
yes.
about this.
But I was also sort of like, but I don't quite remember like where the stakes are here. So even though,
Yeah.
like, I guess the Spider-Man movies, I think I like them because they're just like a good time. But I feel like I am overall like not super into superhero movies right now. I guess like I've been pretty saturated on them for a while, so I don't get as excited for them as I used to. But I'm excited for this because I love Tom Holland and I love Zendaya, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for whatever you guys are doing. So the trailer definitely made me be like, okay, I would check this out, but I don't know if I'm gonna try to fight to get to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you think? Were you like looking forward to this one?
I mean, I largely agree with everything you said. I mean, like, it doesn't need any of our help. It broke the record for like most watched trailer, I think, like the day it dropped. So I'm like,
Yes.
it's gonna make a lot of money. Like,
Yep.
so what do we know about that? But I guess yeah, I kind of like agree with like being just oversaturated on Marvel stuff right now, even though like this is like one of their like slower years. I think it's just this and
Yeah.
Doomsday, which is like crazy because usually in the last decade plus, it's been like four movies a year of
Yeah. Yeah.
superhero
Every
shit.
couple months, another one. Right.
And I feel like they're finally getting the hint of like, unless you do something crazy, like people are getting kind of tired of these, at some point. Like, and even the box office returns for some of the like, Captain America, the last one that came out, and
Right.
the other ones have kind of reflected that. But
Hmm.
Spider-Man's always going to bring in people. I don't blame them for that. He's like one of my favorite, if not my favorite comic hero ever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just agree. Like, I just think I had higher hopes for this one because it was like a reset. I guess what you were saying, like about forgetting what happened. So at the end of No Way Home,
Yeah.
what happens is Peter asks Doctor Strange to put a spell on everybody, um, to erase that they because the
Okay.
secret came
Yeah.
out that they knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
His identity got exposed. Okay.
And so I don't remember like the exact Aunt May dies, that made have been, so
Right.
I think it was just getting like too close to home, and so he's just like, I'm gonna protect my friends, I'm gonna protect my family, like, and just erase that anyone knows who Spider-Man's real identity is. Doctor Strange agrees, and
Okay.
so we see in this trailer like the aftermath of that. It kind of reminded me of like Endgame taking place like I forget how long after the snap, and it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah. Like 5 years later, and it's like, holy
half the
smokes.
world was gone, and we're
Right.
seeing the fallout of that, which I really did like that aspect of it. So, I don't mind that. We see him like, with Zendaya like being like, oh shit, looks like she has a new man now. I can't really say anything. She doesn't know who I am. She doesn't know we were together at all.
Is she
So
with Flash now? Are we going back to comic core where like Flash
yeah.
will be her boyfriend? Or
So yeah, I guess there has been some talk about that. That's not there was an actor that played Flash in the first two Spider-Man movies,
right,
and
but
so this is
he
not the same
I was
actor.
gonna say, yeah,
So
he was dating someone else, and the blip happened in this timeline. So I don't, yeah, like they seem to be doing their own thing.
yeah,
But I guess like, was this in the comics? Did this ever take place in the comics?
um, so I was listening to The Watch, yeah, one of
Okay,
my favorite podcasts with Chris Ryan and
hell
Andy
yeah.
Greenwald.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy said that it did happen where it was a race that people know who Spider-Man was, but it was Mephisto, the devil character in Marvel.
Ooh,
So
okay.
it wasn't something that like Spider-Man asked for. It was more
Yeah,
of a
chose to do. Okay.
villainous angle to it. So
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I think the part that I struggle with the most is just visually, because the part of the hype before this was like, we got a new director coming in. It's not what's his name anymore? I can't remember.
Oh,
Was it John Watts?
yeah. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it's actually Destin Daniel Cretton, who
Okay.
did Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And so, that
Right.
one got like a lot of love when it came out. I thought it was
It
okay,
was okay.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
and so, but the news before this trailer was coming out is like, it was like a shot of like Tom Holland on wires, and people are going, "Oh snap, it's going to be like more practical in this one." Watching the trailer, there is none of that
It
feel
sure
to any
doesn't
of
seem that
this.
way. It's true.
And so it's
I
like,
mean, it seems like there's going to be less stunt work because the trailer, I feel like, was really highlighting the relationship drama that like we're going to encounter. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm curious. Like, they're sort of,
yeah.
taking some things from the comic, but also, they have built their own romantic world
hmm
that is different from the other Spider-Mans.
Yeah, like I said, I think the drama aspect of it is more interesting to me than like him losing his. Again, we saw that in Spider-Man 2 already, and like people are drawing from like, it could be this comic storyline where it's like the human spider. I have no idea what that means, but I'm like,
Because there's
okay.
also there is some like kung fu action happening
The
in
hand
in
the
here
hand
too,
does show
right?
up, so
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
familiar with like those villains, and so like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's cool. I will say like the Punisher thing was like a little bit
That's
kind
right.
of
Okay.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
they brought Daredevil into the last Spider-Man, Charlie Cox,
Mm-hmm.
and like for one scene, and I was like, it got the nerds excited in my theater, but other than that, it was just like, cool.
I
I
mean,
like that show. I
I
like that
like
show.
Barenthal at least.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need the character of the Punisher to like be happening in this story too, but I
It's
do
just
like
like,
Barenthal. So
how do you like mesh those two characters, and like based on this trailer, it just didn't seem like it's gonna work very, like, it's, you got this foul-mouthed dude who's killing people on the street, and then Spider-Man is like, not on my watch, and like,
yeah,
yeah.
keep your mouth quiet now.
Mother, like, it's just like,
Right.
it's kind of cringe, dude,
That's
like,
something
and
that's like
just,
weird about this whole franchise is that like he's never really been allowed to just do his own thing. He's had a relationship with some other superhero in every one of his movies. Do you know what I mean? Like
it's my
it's
least
always
favorite
been,
aspect of the Tom
yeah,
Holland movies is like, even in the first one, he's Iron Man Jr.
yes,
They never
yes,
let him have his own story. Like, the closest we get is Far From Home, which gets like a lot of hate, which is the sequel, the
yep,
second one.
yep,
I like Far From Home for that aspect. I'm like,
same,
they go to Europe, it's not in New York,
yep.
which some people
Yeah,
don't
he
like, but
just
I'm like,
battles a bad guy. It's just
yeah.
about him.
Yeah, I like that, and it's like it's a person he trusted. Like, it's a villain we never saw before, and then we're getting Scorpion in this one. That's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
Played by I think his name's Michael. I have it written down here. Michael Mando. Yeah.
Nice. Mando.
From Breaking Bad. Mando, not that
Hey.
Mando. But from Better Call Saul.
Sweet. Okay.
So he's cool. Also saw Tramel Tillman from Severance. So a lot of these prestige TV actors
Popping
flying
up.
their way into the blockbusters.
Getting the
And
check. Let's go.
I love to see it, honestly, because like we talked about this before. Like, if you're gonna make this like comic book mess, like messy shit, like, you need these actors to ground it. Otherwise it just runs away from you, and it turns into like Venom,
Totally.
like the Venom movies. So we'll see. We'll see. I again, it's like, we grew up on Raimi. It's so hard. Like, we grew up
Yeah,
so spoiled when
it's
that's the
true.
standard. You know what I mean? Like, visually, I don't know if there's ever gonna be a Spider-Man movie that looks as good as I did like the shot of inside the suit when it was his face. I thought that was the best shot in the whole trailer.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
like,
interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
again, communicating like that he's going through something, falling, and maybe going through some
Into
suicidal thoughts,
despair.
or
Yeah.
you know which was again the Spider-Man 2 thing of like, he's just not feeling being Spider-Man anymore. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well,
Sad Spider-Man, what's it going to look like in the MCU? They don't really
it's
go
true.
too sad.
Yeah, he's the one character that like really does wrestle with the dual identity of being a superhero in like that's always been a central part of his
Yes.
story is like struggling with identity, which tracks because he's a teenager, right? Like when you're a teenager, you are trying to figure out who you're going to be. And like for Batman, he's like, I don't really mind having my dual identities. It's like a bummer. I don't
Yeah.
have girlfriends sometimes, but it's like I still sleep with these really beautiful women. Like it's all good. But when you're like a kid and you really are like, my whole life depends on who I decide to be, it's much harder, I think, to like, have to have that duality. So I do feel like that's at least interesting. And I feel like Tom Holland has had to do it more than the other Spider-Mans have because he's done more movies than
Yeah.
the rest of them. Like this solidifies him as the most Spider-Man, I guess.
Yeah, this is his fourth movie. Yeah, you're
Fourth.
right.
Plus, being in the Avengers movies. So
Yeah.
he is the most Spider-Man.
And I worry about again what you're saying because like they're like Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, another TV star who is rumored to be in this movie, and like they were talking about it on the watch, like she could be Jean Grey. There's only a couple redheads in the MCU, and
And
so
we
I'm
just will
like
never stop making Jean Grey movies. We're like trying so hard to
X-Men,
get a good one.
and like I'm just like, again, can we just have like a Spider-Man movie? Like, can we just one,
Seriously, yeah.
please? Like, I beg of you. Like, I know you want, like, they have to put the connective tissue in the bigger movies because more people will see them, and then it
Right.
makes more sense when the next one comes out. But it's just like, it's such a drag, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to not get the time with Tom Holland that like I feel like we deserve, as
It's true.
Spider-Man fans. It's like even like, and then there's the Hulk in this trailer we saw, like Mark
Yeah,
Ruffalo
he'll be
coming
there
in,
too. Right,
and it's like, dude,
right.
how are they gonna juggle like 5-6 different characters? The Punisher, like, is it just
I
gonna
feel
be
like
one
that's part
scene
of
or?
why, the Raimi Spider-Mans ultimately fell apart is they started to try to add
Yeah,
too
Spider-Man
many
3
characters.
was like a mess of like too
Mm-hmm.
many villains. It's like, no, you can't do it. And I didn't like that about No
Yes.
Way Home either, where they just brought back like every villain in the Spider-Man movies, and I was just like, guys, like, what are you doing? Like, is this too
Yeah, it's too
much?
much. It's an ADHD issue, and we'll see what happens. Because like, is this the last one? Like, is this the last one? I guess I thought the last
I
one
think
was
the
the
last
last one.
announced one. It's the last
Okay.
announced. Like, I don't think there's like a scheduled
Yeah,
next
like
one or
another one.
whatever.
Okay, okay.
But
I
there's
mean, we'll see,
Doomsday,
right? Depends on how
Avengers
much money.
Doomsday,
Oh, right.
which is
He'll be
supposed to
there.
bring in all the X-Men and all the characters, and so you talk about ADHD overload. Avengers Doomsday coming out. Watch this segue right here. I'm about to nail this. Coming out the same week as Dune 3, which
Oh,
the trailer
shit.
just dropped for Dune 3.
Perfect. Perfect
Yeah.
segue.
And if you ask me which movie am I more excited for between Spider-Man and Doomsday and Dune 3, it's Dune 3. It's not
Same.
even close.
Million
It's like,
percent. Yeah,
even like
1,000,000%.
watching the trailers, like everything we're complaining about, I'm like, look at the production design of this thing.
And I don't
Look at the
mind that they're
direction.
bringing in new actors. I'm like, yes, join this franchise, please. That's such a good point.
I don't care. I'll be a nerd for these Dune movies because like I honestly feel like they don't get enough love. To be honest, like I'm
No.
like, what is even from the Oscars, like Dune 2
That's
getting
true.
snubbed
Totally
for all this
snubbed.
stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? Like these are some of the best looking movies. The lore is like cool as hell.
Yes.
They're pulling off an adaptation that people said was unadaptable for
That's
years.
True. That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like how is this not winning? And like people were saying, oh, they're gonna do the Return of the King thing and like save it for the last one.
I wonder if they'll do that.
So,
yeah.
I hope so.
Now there's
really
like so much anticipation. I mean, it's happening, it'll be being released within the Oscar season, like window or whatever. So it's sort of like going to be perfectly primed in that way. And, it has Chalamet, who we love. It has so many actors that we love that I feel like, people are going to be pulling for no matter what.
Dude, the perfect weirdo actors that I like, again, we talk about weird faces and weird bodies. We're going to put Robert Pattinson in this thing.
No eyebrows.
Yeah, we're going to put Anya Taylor-Joy in this thing.
The best. I love Anya Taylor-Joy.
These are the people that, like, again, just, looking at them, you're like, yes.
Yep.
This is they're gonna add to the movie.
Yes,
like,
Rebecca Ferguson, like with all the tats all over her face as the Bene Gesserit. I love it.
Yeah. Did you see there was a story that she was just interviewed about it, where I guess she only has one scene in it. Like I guess she's not in the third book at all, like her
Oh,
character.
dang.
And
Okay.
so she wasn't even sure if she was going to be in it.
Sad.
And then, but they did. She is in one scene in Dune 3 confirmed. So I'm like,
Well,
you
she
have
makes
to,
the
dude. You got
trailer.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
Come on, like,
Yeah, you can't not use Bex if she could be there. And she's in the trailer because they know she's like a selling point. Like her
hmm
character it was a really interesting, powerful part
dude,
of the
Duncan
first two
Idaho.
films.
Duncan Idaho is back. I don't even know how that one of the best character names.
They've
And
somehow got him there.
Jason
Yeah.
Momoa, somehow he's returned, and like I think I had heard that because I guess that's in the book too. But
Okay.
like, dude,
Okay.
let's go. He was one of my favorite parts of the first movie.
That too.
He again another guy that just fits the fantasy world. That's why he was so good in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
You need these actors that can just sell this shit, and
Yep.
like they did such a good job. I love the references to Oscar Isaac, when they're talking about what should we name the
Let's
kid, and like
go.
because
Yep.
I thought that relationship in the first one was like one of my favorite parts of that one too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you have like a preference? It's hard for me to pick which one I like more between 1 and 2 because
Same,
there's
actually.
so many. They feel on the same level, and there's things I like about the first one more, and things I like about the second one more. Like I don't know if I could pick one honestly.
That's such a good point. I'm not sure that
Yeah,
I feel like on different days I would
yeah,
choose differently because I really love the first one because of, the stage it sets and how dope it is. But then the
yeah.
second one like lifts it to the next level and starts to
It's
bring
kind of,
in,
you know what it's kind of
Flo
like?
Q and like other people that I'm like, oh shit, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of reminds me of like the Lord of the Rings thing where like fellowship is like the relationships in that movie are like what makes that my favorite one out of the
Mm-hmm.
trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But then if we're talking about like what's the best action, everyone says the Two Towers because
That's
like
true.
that's
Yeah.
the best. And I think Dune 2 definitely leveled up in
It
terms of the
does
set
level up.
pieces
It really
and
does.
the and the like the battle scenes, the fight at the end, the one-on-one fight between
Yeah.
him and Austin Butler at the end, like
Yeah.
so it's hard. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
maybe when I rewatch for the third one, maybe I can. But it's one of those where I'm perfectly fine of not saying I have like a preference. Like I just
Totally.
I really like the first one
It's
and
a
I really like the second
sound
one.
franchise. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It feels pretty sound. And this third one looks like it's going to, be able to, like, it feels like, yeah, this is ready to make the conclusion. Like every actor, the way every actor like turns to the camera in the shot that's used in the trailer makes you be like, yep, they have the resolution. They have figured out how they're
hmm
closing this, and everyone has confidence like in whatever their character arcs are going to be or whatever. And I'm really excited for that. Like yeah, I feel like, yes, it's an IP because it comes from a book, but it feels more original because it hasn't been done like 37 times. It only got
Yes.
tried once by David Lynch a
David
long ass
Lynch.
time ago. And
It
like
didn't
that
work. It's
one,
his worst
yeah.
movie by a mile.
It's so,
And
yeah, that one
yeah,
is like fully struck from the record. So it's like, might as well be original, essentially. But
yeah.
especially the way it's getting executed, it feels really original, which I just love. Because I
Last
feel like I
thing.
do love a fantasy movie.
Me too. Last thing I'll say, like to the score, when the score was like the audio mixing and stuff. Again, how does it not win for these awards every
It
year?
absolutely
Because
will.
the
This one will.
the way that the chant was like mixed into the music, the score of this trailer, I was like, bro, these
Hans
movies get
Zimmer,
me
dude.
so hyped up. Like someone just posted a TikTok edit of Timmy, they blended. I love when it's these edits on TikTok where they surprise me with what movie they're going to do. So at first
Okay.
I'm like, oh, a Marty Supreme edit. I haven't seen one of these, I don't think.
Huh?
And so it was the scene where he's calling Gwyneth Paltrow and he goes, turn to the newspaper, it's me. And she does, and he goes, yeah, look at me, the chosen one. And the picture in the newspaper is him and Dune. And it
Yes.
turns into a Dune edit. And I
Let's
was like, let's
go.
go.
Let's go. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So again, I'm hyped. Like again, this is just it feels like a big moment, and yeah, I don't think Denis has won any gotten any Oscar love either, and like he's
No.
to me,
No.
he's one of the strongest
Yeah.
director voices we have working right now.
Especially
So
doing an epic like this, like,
yes,
really shows that he can do it. I don't know that he'll be able to win on a fantasy epic because it, like, depends on what the year ends up
genre
being
bias.
stacked.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
But I feel like it's not impossible necessarily, so
There was a
we'll have to
good okay,
see.
yeah. This is the last thing I'll say. There was an interview that was pretty good where it was because Timmy was doing all these things for Best Actor. We'll talk about how that went after this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite ones, other than the McConaughey one, which went viral, was Denis Villeneuve interviewed him, and it was just so funny to see him be the interviewer and like the type of questions he was asking, and it seemed like you know Timmy was really excited about Dune 3. Like he had to hold himself back like throughout the entire interview, being like, I think what we did on Dune 3 is like a big accomplishment. I don't
Yeah.
want to give anything away, but like I feel really good about it. I felt the best working on Dune 3 than the rest of them. It felt
Okay.
like the most natural and everything. And so like again, it was just it got annoying after a while. He said it like 5 times during the interview, and I'm like, dude, what is he? I want to see what he's talking about. Like, release Dune 3 ASAP
Let's
because I
go.
need to see what what he's so hyped about. But yeah, it's again did what good trailers do. Got me excited for a movie that doesn't come out for like another 6-7
Yeah, like
months.
I can't wait for all the other trailers, right? I'm excited for more trailers because I know that they'll
Yeah.
keep dropping them as we
Mm-hmm.
get closer, and I'm just excited for that too. And I'm excited for an epic conclusion. Like always love a good epic conclusion.
It's hard to pull off, but like again, if they've done 2 out of 3 so far have been good movies, so I think they can do it. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
agree. I totally agree. All right, let's get into the Oscars.
Speaking
Um
of maybe pulling it off, we'll talk about the Oscar.
exactly. Yeah, let's talk about it. What did you think of the show? The
Yeah.
presenter bits, all this shit, the winners. What did you think?
Yeah, this is gonna be a beast to talk about because it's a 3.5 hour telecast. I don't know like
Wild.
where you want to start or go, but
I
I
guess
I think I got a couple talking points here.
yeah, let's go.
Maybe I'll just throw them at you, and then we'll see where the combo goes.
Let's do it.
I think a good place to start is Conan.
Word.
I told you, I was texting you during the night. I'm Team Coco for life. I love this
Same.
guy. Like,
Yep.
his humor is just like so me. It's like in my DNA. It's goofy. It's like irreverent. His physical comedy is like one of the best. Like, I just think in terms of late night hosts, he would be in my like
Yeah,
top tier
absolutely.
of any of the hosts. So I think him taking over for Jimmy Kimmel worked last year, and I thought he did another like good job. Like I have really no complaints. Like
Same.
there were some really solid like political jabs. I'm glad he got in there, like the Ted Sarandos one.
Yeah.
When Ted Sarandos was in
It's
the
just
crowd and
there.
it cuts to him, was like, wow, like that was so cutthroat.
Yep. Yep.
The opening bit where he's running
Bit.
through all the Best Picture nominees as Aunt Gladys was
So
like,
good.
come on. Like it was honestly was one of the highlights, that and the button at the end of him doing the one battle after another closing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like all his bits were so good. The
Yeah.
sketches were so
The
good.
the Jane Lynch one with the
Yes.
YouTube going to
Yes.
Oscars going to YouTube. I love the vertical video one where it was like cutting out like Godfather
Your favorite
2.
movies ruined by vertical video. So good.
Yeah, it just even the jokes that like didn't land, like he's such a pro at this point, like in late
Yeah, he
night,
can
that
totally
like
roll with it.
it dies in the crowd and then he just goes on to the next one, and like he
Yep.
doesn't let it, affect his performance at all. And there wasn't any like big drama this year, which like again could be like, was this boring as a telecast or whatever? But I just thought like maybe this was like the best result like we could have gotten, because
Yeah.
I just would not want to hear like something winning over Sinners or One Battle, and like people just think pieces for the next like month or 2 months, like maybe
Yeah.
because I wanted Timmy to win and Michael B.
Right.
Jordan won, and I was like, maybe that was a good thing because I don't think I could stand the discourse of people being like, another white actor stealing it from a black actor and this and that.
Yes.
I was like, oh man. So
We would have been in for it. We really would have been in for it.
even though I think that's a better performance, or personally, Timmy and Marty Supreme. But again, I just think it just worked out like naturally. Did you feel that way too in terms of like the winners and everything? Like, how
I
did you feel?
feel like that is like I feel like you can't compare them per se, which is why I think it was like probably pretty hard to like predict necessarily. But I feel like if Michael B. Jordan was ever going to win an Oscar, he at least won an Oscar for the best performance he's given. You know what I mean? Like
You think so?
maybe he'll be
You
able
think
to
it's
do.
Sinners?
I mean, I think so in the sense of like prime, like every, the
Oscars type
yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the rawness that he takes from some of his
Yeah.
earlier roles and brings forward, like, like when he's young, like that, I don't know, I don't have a good word for it, but whatever that like rawness was that he used to have like in Fruitvale and when he was like, I think he's on The Wire, right? He's also from The
The
Wire.
Wire. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been
exactly.
acting for
Sort
such
of
a
like
long time.
that grittiness is
It
able to
almost, I
like
think that
be
helped him win,
finessed
honestly. That
in.
was there's definitely a legacy element to it where people are like, the long trail to get to the Oscars. I feel like people had so much time to like look at Michael B. Jordan at these award shows and red carpets and go, yeah, he always is good, right? Like,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, because it's sort of
like,
like, I'd rather him win for this movie than
yeah,
him win for, like, The Revenant or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like, at least
yes,
this one was for him, and
yeah.
so to win for a movie that's for you, I feel like that's a really rare Oscars thing,
And we
and
talked about it on the Sinners episode of like playing twins could go disastrous like so easily,
it really
and the
could.
fact that it didn't is
Yep.
like an accomplishment in itself. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
um,
And yeah, I do feel like, Timmy was so good, of course, but Timmy is always so good. So it's going to be really interesting whenever they do finally, agree to give him the award. And it's probably going to be just like Leo, where like he gets it for the most random shit
they
after we've wanted
famously
it for years and years and years.
they famously do not give it to young actors either because he's only 29, right, or so, or maybe just turned
Something like that.
30.
He's like 30, I think. Yeah.
And so, but if he won, he would have been the youngest actor to win Best Actor, and I think Adrian Brody was like the next youngest one,
Yeah.
for
And
The
then we
Pianist.
didn't see him around for like 30 more years, right?
Yes, until he won again. He also had a bit that night that I don't think was that funny, but
I can't
it
remember it.
was
I might have missed
it
it.
was when he came out to, because the Best Actor the
Yeah,
previous
yeah.
year introduces the next Best Actor. So then he came out and he did like the gum thing
Yep.
again, and then he had all these
Yes.
like notes, and he was
Papers with
like,
him. That's right. That's right.
I do have something I really want to say, and like the whole time I was just going like, just please just say Best Actor goes to, and that's what he did. So
Yeah,
like
yeah, it
that
worked.
was good, but I just think people are so fed up with him at this point that like they're just like, bro, like even when you're trying to do a bit, it's like we're done. Like
Yeah, you're
you got
annoying to us.
all the grace we were gonna give you last year was used up. Like
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, I agree. I think Timmy is. I've been talking with people about it. I'm like, dude, he's gonna win one day. Like because
A million
people
percent.
people know how much I love like Marty Supreme since our episode and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not bothered by it. Like honestly, I love Michael B. Jordan and Creed and like Fruitvale, Black
Yes.
Panther. Like you said, he's
Yep.
done so much like good work that like, if he won here, like that's a big story. He's only the sixth black person to ever win Best Actor. Like
Yes.
that's crazy. Like in itself, that's crazy. So I can't be mad at it. You know what I mean? Like I really cannot be mad at it. And Timmy is going to be, whether that's for Dune 3, I don't know, but he will be back at the he's
He'll
just
be
too
there
good.
because Dune will get Oscar noms and because they
Yeah.
want him for the TV ratings. But that's exactly right. Is it like whatever he's going to win for is going to be so random? Like
I
it's
do
just going to
think
be random.
I do want to like put a pin in like a lot of people on threads and whatever were like, that's why you don't go after ballet and like an
I
opera.
don't
That's what
think
you get. And
like
I
the
was like,
voting had to have been wrapped
yes,
by the time he made
yeah.
those comments, you know?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. The day that story broke, voting had already ended,
Come
and
on.
so I'm like, that had nothing to do. Like, I think people were just the same effect that we were talking about of people liking MBJ for that long.
Mm-hmm.
It was the opposite effect of Timmy, where people are like, "All right, bro, like you're doing
Yeah,
your
we're getting
Marty
tired
Supreme
now.
bit, and like the performance art thing, I think only works for like a very short time." And
Yeah.
like I think I will give him credit though; he did calm down. Like I think he gave it up like at a certain point. The Marty Supreme character
Which was
bit,
good. Yeah, he needed to
yeah,
give it up. But I
and
guess that's exactly it. Is it like this would have been a weird, like even if he had pulled it out, it would have been a weird win for him, like
yeah.
ultimately.
I guess okay, another let's just go with the wins. So one battle after another, one best picture.
You called it.
That was my number one movie, so obviously I was happy about that.
Yep.
So I want to get
PTA.
like how do you feel about that? And yeah, PTA in general, like I guess the narrative was kind of written on the wall for like most of the year when one battle came out.
Yeah,
But I will say Sinners did make it like a more exciting race this year than like a
fully.
long time, honestly, a long time that I can remember. Like, I don't know if you feel that way too, but even up till the end, I'm like, it could be Sinners. Like, I'm really not
Same.
sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that made it interesting television. And I think, like, again, like, people are already saying, like, this is this year's Green Book and, like, blah, 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 like, and overreacting to it. And I'm like,
They're wrong.
yeah, calm
Yeah.
down, guys. One battle, like, again, even if you don't think it's PTA's best movie, this dude was due for an Oscar
Yeah.
for like so long.
And it's a
And so,
really good movie. Like, it
yeah,
is really good. The writing is really good. The directing is really good. The acting is really good. It's poignant for the time. So it's also sort of like sometimes the best picture has to win because of the culture that's around it. And I feel like that is most appropriate for one battle after another.
yeah, it's gonna age like
Yeah, it's
amazing.
going to
Like people
age
are gonna be like,
so
what
well.
was 2026 like and 2025 like? I'm gonna be like, watch one battle after another.
And you'll know.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So
Um,
yeah, I feel good about that win, and I like how it was sort of split right down the middle, where like Coogler gets the writing award and
that's what
PTA
I was
gets
gonna
the
say.
directing. Like equity across the board there. I really,
Yeah,
really like too.
even other awards. So like, let's start breaking some of these down because I feel like even if you like Sinners more or if you like One Battle more, like they won a pretty equal amount, like you're saying, because like so we had best supporting actor go to Sean Penn
Hmm.
for one battle, and he did not show up. He was with Zelensky, I guess
He was
is
doing
what
humanitarian work.
work. So all God bless him. I guess Sean Penn. He's like, I already got two of these things. I don't need to show up for another one. It's just weird though, because he did show up to the Golden Globe, so it's like why. You would think the Oscars would be like the one to go to
He
if you
must have not
did.
thought he was gonna win. He must have like really
Yeah.
not thought he was gonna win. So he's like, I'll do this other trip instead. But yeah, that was
And
an interesting win. The Aunt Gladys win, like, let's go.
first award of the night, and I
Sets
think
such a
like
good tone.
this is why I think like the format of the Oscars I love to be like, and I hope they never change this because you need one of the big four
It's true.
right out the gate.
Yeah, yeah,
Because like once Amy Madigan came up there and like did her speech, it just like it got me hyped again. Like it just was like,
yeah.
oh,
It was
I'm
like,
so
all
happy
right.
for her. You
Mm-hmm.
got to see Ed Harris there, like
Yeah.
like cheering her on, and like I'm like, dude, for a horror movie, like the win just made me feel like so good. I'm like, I hope we get like this is for the Hereditaries that never got
Oh,
nominated, and like
yes,
Lupita Nyong'o who didn't get nominated for Us. I'm like,
yes,
this needs to be like the
yeah,
horror movie puts out so many great performances. Like
yes.
I'm hoping the Academy is like done sleeping on it, but
At the
I
very
don't know.
least for
I
the
don't know.
actors, like for the
Yeah,
actors, right? Because I think like it is really hard to take a horror movie over the top. It has to be something like Sinners that sort of has like this other through line and other these extra pieces to it. It can't just be gory or whatever. You know what I mean? It really does have to have a little something extra if it's going to bust through on like the writing or any of the other pieces. But the acting, like Weapons is maybe the best example that like the acting
yeah.
is the best part of that movie, especially Aunt Gladys. Like that's without her, everything else falls apart, even though she's not the lead actor. And I feel like that is exactly a kind of performance that deserves to be able to be nominated and then win an Academy Award if that like your performance is that integral to the film, regardless
Yeah.
of genre.
And then speaking of evenly split, so then we got Ryan Coogler winning for best original screenplay, or original screenplay, and PTA doing for best adapted, which like a
Hmm.
lot of people predicted. Like I thought that would happen, but your girl Jessie Buckley winning for Hamnet.
Let's go.
I know you were happy
Which was
about
pretty
that.
much like a lock. She
That
won
was your
pretty much
number
all
one.
awards.
It's still good to see. You never
Yeah.
know, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I would say the only one that was like even came close to like giving it a little bit was Rose Byrne. A lot of people really like her
Right.
performance in that movie,
Yeah.
which I still haven't seen, but I hear it's really good.
I do want to
Um,
see it. Yeah, I do want to check it out. But
but yeah,
yeah,
Jessie
she.
Buckley, it's like even the detract. I think this is what locked it for her ultimately. Is even the detractors of Hamnet have nothing bad to say about Jessie Buckley in that movie. It's like
Nope.
it's impossible. She is like putting on like godly work in that movie,
Yes.
where like
Yes.
again, like you said it in our review, like it takes your breath away for like the last 30 minutes, and you're just like, wow, it's like watching a child like speak for the first time. It was just like, holy shit, like
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
believe she is just
Another
uh
example of like winning for the movie you should win for, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I think this is another one that's going to age like really beautifully. Frankenstein taking on all the technical awards. That's another thing I'm pretty sure I predicted in our
Thought
Oscar.
maybe one or two of those sinners would nab. So I was a little bit like,
Yeah.
wow, they are really about Frankenstein the way it
Yeah.
looks and its costume and makeup.
I think they
Because
really did a good job though of like, remember they put out that when we did our Frankenstein episode, I was talking about how I watched that documentary about the behind the
yeah,
scenes of it. Like they really did a good push of like all the work they did with makeup and the production, like built all these sets. Like the
mm-hmm,
boat from the beginning was real
yep,
and stuff like that. And I just don't think I got enough of that from even Sinners. Like I don't think I got enough like breakdowns of like what they
yeah.
did with the set or anything like
Yeah,
that.
like it's
So
a strange thing to campaign for those awards, but weirdly Frankenstein did campaign for them.
I'm trying to think, who did we not talk about? Best supporting actress? Did we talk about that yet? Oh, yeah,
Well, that's Aunt
that was Amy
Gladys. Mm-hmm,
Madigan.
mm-hmm,
So
yep.
we got all the main acting ones, I think, out of the way, right?
Yeah,
Was there
yeah.
anything that you didn't care for in the Oscars? Because I would say the one glaring thing for me is like, again, it happens every year, but like cutting off people talking, it got so
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I think
Yeah.
the worst one was the K-pop Demon Hunters
Yeah.
guy.
They
I
cut him off
felt
like almost
so
immediately.
bad.
I feel like they
Yeah.
didn't even give them a second to speak, which I was
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah, it was like it's almost like they didn't like they spent 30 seconds of like awkward like a long shot of like them on the stage, and I'm like, this could have been time where he's talking, like, you know what I mean?
Just let
Like
him talk. Yeah, just let him
yeah,
talk.
like this is what we go to these award shows for. And so it's just, if there's a group of people that work on a movie like an animated movie, that's never going to be just one person does this entire animated movie.
No.
There's going to be more than one speech, and you have to account for that. And so that was just super disappointing. I thought he was, and then I guess the other like glaring issue for me, a lot of like technical stuff, like random, like which you would think like Oscars, they have the best people working on this
Yeah.
stuff. But like I noticed it when the Bridesmaid group came
Yes,
out,
the mics were
and
a
like
little
there was so
funky.
much feedback on
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Just weird like awkward camera angles when they were cutting to people that like weren't ready and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yes.
Just really like bizarre things like that. But again, if that's like that's like me nitpicking, I get, like there really wasn't anything like glaringly like what the fuck, like this
Yeah,
person
why'd they do
won
that?
or
Mhm.
or got snubbed, or like even like the In Memoriam, we talk about this every year. It's always like such a tough beat like
Yeah,
to do an In Memoriam.
it
They
is.
never get it right.
Nope.
And so like when they were like cutting to people doing speeches, I thought the music was too loud for like most of them, and I couldn't hear
Yeah.
what they were saying, and it just was like a really weird mix of like,
I get it, but I'm just sort of
yeah,
like, I don't want the special
no,
speeches. Like
yeah,
like I understand like, you're trying to like impress a little something extra and you want to make sure you hammer this, but it's sort of like, I don't know, do something else because that is weird, and then it just like makes it interrupts the flow of like, I'm trying to concentrate the sadness I have into just this window. Please don't
yeah.
take me in and out of it in a weird way,
Getting emotional and talking, like I thought that was beautiful, and like Babs too, like that was a cool
Yes.
story,
And Billy
but
Crystal,
That was the best one for me. The Rob Reiner
Mm-hmm.
one I thought was like excellent. I'm like, yeah, and like for all his cast that he worked with, like filling up that entire stage, I was like, wow, that was like a really like powerful just but it was simple. It wasn't like a really long other than Billy Crystal, it
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't a long speech like that. It was just like
Yeah.
a visual look at what this guy did, like how many people he worked with or whatever. And I was like, boom, that's
Yes.
it. That's what they needed to hit. And I thought they really did a good job. Um and we lost so many legends this year. We've done how many episodes where we're just doing movies and we're like, we have to take some time to talk
To,
about
yep. Someone else
Robert
died.
Redford and
Yeah.
someone else, like, dude, these like giants. And it's like, damn, this really was like a tough year. And I think, I think we just got to get used to it that like a lot of the people
Yeah.
that we
We're
grew up
we're hitting
watching are
a
hitting
window.
their
Yeah. We're gonna hit that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like I'm thinking of like the Al Pacinos and the Robert De Niros and like those guys are getting up there, dude.
Marching our
Like
way there. Yes, yes. And it just,
so
yeah, you just like hope that it's never this many because I think that's part of it too, is that like because we had so many legends, they had to figure out a way to pay due
yeah,
respect to many people. And that's just like really hard to do because typically it's like,
so
one or
tough.
two huge people a year or something, and the rest it's sort of like people that you're like, oh, but you're not like, oh no, and I
Yeah.
do feel like there was way too much of that last year.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year's different.
Um, I would say so. Two things I want before we get out of here. I feel like we should bring up because I thought they were again really. Even though I wasn't expecting it, I was like, "Wow, this was cool." Like I really enjoyed. So one would be the casting Oscar.
I'm excited about that.
I
Mm-hmm.
thought that could have gone either way. I thought that
Yes.
could have gone Sinners. I thought that could
Yes.
have gone One Battle After Another. One Battle After Another did take it.
Yep.
And honestly, you look at that movie though, and like it's hard to argue against that. Like even
Perfectly cast.
every single person in there, from like Tiana Taylor, who's not like the most experienced actor, you're like glued to the screen, like what
Yes.
she's doing
Yes.
next from the
Such a good
beginning of that
choice.
movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you got like Benicio and like DiCaprio, like doing he's in his own movie, and like, but it all somehow still fits together. It's
Yes.
so crazy like that, and I think that has to do with the acting. And Chase Infinity, who
Yes.
this is her first movie.
And
This is her first movie she ever did.
That's
Like,
why I feel like a casting Oscar makes sense. Like, yes,
Yeah.
we still lobby for the stunt team Oscar. Like, we need that one still also. But the casting
Yeah.
one makes sense because casting is a unique
So
kind of
important.
skill. Yeah. And it's just, you can't sleep on it because when someone is miscast, it ruins everything. So
What
perfect
about the
casting
non-actors?
really matters.
We didn't even talk about the non-actors really, I don't think, in our episode. But like,
Right.
I did not know that general who was interviewing people was a real general.
Wild.
But I could feel it.
Wild.
Or two of the other examples I really like in there was the one nurse who like frees Bob in the hospital.
Is just a
I'm
nurse?
like, dude, she did great.
Let's
She was just a
go.
nurse. Like, she was just a random person.
Again, right.
And she's giving him these subtle hints of like, Bob, you have
You're
to
gonna
take your
go.
medicine,
Yep,
right?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
I'm
right.
like, bro,
Yeah, nailed it.
so that's such a good Oscar. I'm really excited to see
Yeah,
where that
see where that
goes.
goes.
If
Mhm.
there's any significance to like that winning and the best picture, because usually
Ooh, yeah,
if you
like
win
will
best
these be
editing,
tied? Mm-hmm.
editing was always usually like a good indicator that
Mhm.
like you win, because you can split director and best picture we've seen,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
if you win like so like this is like another one where it's like that'll be interesting to see if like best casting,
Yeah, how
how
linked it
people
is.
feel about that is how they feel about the best picture of the year too.
Totally.
So I
totally.
thought that was cool. And then cinematography for Sinners, the first female cinematographer to ever win.
Never
Like, again, did
saw
I
it
think
coming.
that One Battle looks amazing too? Yes, and that would be my pick. But like, again, can I be
I don't
mad
know.
at this?
I was gonna say, yeah, like when I think about it, the creativity in the cinematography
Yeah.
of Sinners like takes it over the top, where it's not just like perfect execution, but like also creative camera movement and something that like is just a little bit more special. And I feel like that's
disagree.
why
I don't know, the car chase at the end.
the car
like,
chase at the end is it's taken from another movie. There's another movie that does something similar.
what movie?
Bullet.
I've never seen that before.
Bullet. Yeah,
I haven't seen
it's
it.
all over social media where they're comparing the two of them. I'll try to find it
Okay.
and send it to you. But I feel like, moving through the sequence when the music is playing and all the different genres are happening in
Yeah.
Sinners, like, moving around, like turning the camera in ways that are just super unexpected. I feel like that's sort of the difference, is that like one battle is pristine, precise filmmaking, which is really good, great cinematography, but like it's that thing of like we're trying to do something that doesn't even really feel like cinematography, and I feel like she really succeeded.
Again, like it's not. I'm not saying like it's a horrible win or anything like that. I'm just letting people know. Like again, I just One Battle is my
It was very good.
picture of the
It
year,
was very
and
good.
so that's probably gonna mean I thought it looked the best out of anything. Like you watch any of PTA's movies, and you can take any screen grab from it, and it looks better than pretty much any movie that came out that year. So it's like,
Yep.
but I get it. Like yeah, it's again the musical sequence and things like that. But I don't know. It's just this from the beginning of One Battle, it's like making me feel things from the cinematography in a way that didn't necessarily grab me in the same way in Sinners. But again, that's just me. So, um, and then yeah, I guess the last things we can bring up is just like the musical element, which like they only did 2 songs this year, which I thought was like a great choice.
Yep. Yep.
We don't need every best original song, and
We
like
really
we
don't.
had 2 banger songs. So we had the K-pop
That's right.
Demon Hunter
Which
song
had to be there. Had to be
and
there.
Sinners, and the Sinners song had to be there too. And so I like that. I mean, I guess another complaint I have is I do like when they cut together like montages or whatever, and we didn't have none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like scenes from the
that's true.
movies.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Oh, and then the casting, before they did casting, they all said like a thing, all the different actors that came out from the movies and gave a
Yeah.
speech. You remember that?
Yes.
So I thought that was like a good way to introduce them too. So I guess yeah, just to wrap things up, I just thought overall it was like a successful night.
Yep. It was very
Sentimental
enjoyable.
value took home something, which was like I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Over it was the secret
The
agent.
secret agent. Yeah.
That was like the battle there, and so like again, evenly spread, nothing too controversial, nothing that like the next day I was just like, what the hell were they thinking? I was just like, no, this was like a pretty good year. Like F1 even won an Oscar.
It did.
Like it was just like
everybody got one. It's true. That's what you want. That's what we need. We need it spread around like that,
except
because I
for
feel
Marty
like that makes it
Supreme.
good. That's right.
Marty
That's
Supreme got the
right.
fat donut like the Irishman, and like I don't
I-
think that's gonna age well, but you know what?
That's true.
It's
I agree.
fine. Like
Yeah, like either way, I feel like, it says a lot about how much it was nominated. So obviously
Mhm.
they like it. It's just, I think it's own thing. And so we'll see like when the
people
Academy
are
voters are cool with
struggling.
it.
People are struggling with protagonists that are unlikable. I'm noticing a lot,
Which is a good thing. We were getting too
yeah.
into them for a little while. So
Because even like Sean Penn, like winning, people were like, "Oh, I hated that guy." I was
he's
like,
such a
"You were
piece of shit.
supposed to."
Exactly. That's exactly
that
right.
means it was a good performance.
That's why
actually,
he did so well.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah,
But yeah,
I'm
we'll see.
excited for the crop of movie. I don't think
Yeah,
Project
this
Hail
year.
Mary will be there, but maybe it will hang on. I mean, it's pretty early in the year, but you never know.
Certainly in the
like
technical awards, it's possible. So
for
let's
sure.
see.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
let's
this
see.
thing looks amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
Project Hail Mary looks incredible.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Lord and Miller have to find their way to the Oscars at some point. They must.
well, they won. I guess they won for Spider Into the Spider-Verse one.
Okay.
They always win the animated. They won animated
right.
before.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah. But their live action work, it gets
they
better
always
every
deliver
time.
on
So
that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. So I think that wraps it up for us. Let's remind where the people can find us.
All right. Get your fix and follow the show at We Stay Buff on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can follow me on all the socials at It's Me, Shani B.
And so you never miss a rep, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please leave a positive review, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Follow me on all the socials at Misfit_minded and my website, misfitminded.com.
Yes. Taking a little bit of a breather here after we did this long rally,
Oof.
but we'll be back in 2 weeks covering Primal Fear for its 30th
Hell yeah.
anniversary. A stellar 90s gem.
This was fun though, right? Like I thought this was like a really cool
Yeah, it was a good
trip
rally.
to the Oscars. It really prepared me. And like, if anything, even if the Oscars was a train wreck, I'm like, this was worth it. I love this experiment. So
Same. Yeah, I'm excited to do it next year, frankly.
Me too.
So yeah, thank Thank you again for listening, guys. We'll catch you next time for another edition of Movie Buffs. Until then...
Conan, you look great, and the show's about to start, so time to hit the stage.
I feel like something's a little off. Don't you think it's a bit much?
I can't look like this!
Conan, go!
I won't do it!
I said go.
Oh no.